What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look. Okay, it's not really an indie game. We're checking out the next game in the series of Surviving the Games. Surviving Mars, Surviving the Apocalypse, Surviving the Abyss is now coming out, and we are going to be checking the game out for the next 30 minutes or so to see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list or otherwise pass on. If after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourself, you're more than welcome to do that. I'll have a link for you down below in the description. On top of that, you'll also be able to take a look down there and find a link to my Twitch stream and my Discord. On Twitch, I've been playing a lot of modded Project Zomboid lately, so if you're trying to, watch some zombie apocalypse and you want to see me bludgeon a guy with a hammer, that's the place to do it. So anyways, without wasting any more of our valuable time, these are my first impressions. I haven't really played the game. I don't really know too much about it. I enjoyed Surviving Mars tremendously. I like that one a lot. Didn't play the second Surviving game too much. So we'll see what side of the aisle this one falls on. Let's go ahead and start a new game. Let's go ahead and new game plus introduction objectives. Sure, why not? Let's do something conclusive.
In the years following 1956, much came to be known about the structure of DNA and the human genome. The possibility of cloning a human being was becoming a reality, as our brightest minds race to be the first to complete the endeavor. After a few short years, scientists reported the first promising results. A human being was cloned for the first time. The celebrations, however, were short-lived. The test subjects were unstable, their DNA damaged by the cloning process. All died within days. Moral objections to the technology turned to public outrage. Outrage turned to protests, and eventually protests turned to riots. Publicly, the research was discontinued. The military, however, was quick to understand the strategic potential of this research. Why stop at recreating life when it could be improved? Plans were drawn up to continue the research in total secrecy, far from the prying eyes of the world, deep below the surface of the ocean. The sea floor provides access to new, highly adapted life forms and ample DNA for experimentation. But the deep sea environment presents a significant challenge. You have been selected to lead a team of the best and brightest. The lives of the crew are in your hands.
It's a mistake. You're screwing up right now. You shouldn't do that. I should never be in charge of anything important. I say this every time, and they keep putting me in charge of important things. All right, so here we are. We've got a little base. We've got unemployment. We've got mining subs, apparently. I've also got a generator that's not running to a power line. So let's take a look around our base and see what we've got here. So it looks like we've got our central facility. It looks like we've also got a building materials stockpile over there to the left. Okay, sounds good. And it looks like we've got some kind of pop-up here that just needs our attention. Greetings, Overseer. This message is from Command Section 7,861 meters above you. We hope you're settled in. In the coming days, you need power, oxygen, food to get a stable supply of fuel and building materials. Once basic infrastructure has been established, our first big milestone will be a functional cloning lab. Good luck, Overseer. The work you're undertaking is benefiting all of humanity. Except for the clones, dude. Aren't they humans too? I don't think this is benefiting the clones. You said that they die. That's just like what they do. So we've got a mining relay. We can get small resource deposits in the area of effect. It does look like we have things over here. I'm going to go ahead and put one of those down. Overseer, we need to get a regular supply of building resources and fuel set up. Oh, I already did that. Yay, I'm ahead of the curve. I never get to be ahead of the curve. It's one of those places that I never get to dwell. And now I need to assign some submarinos to this thing. Okay, well, there we go. We've got little mining subs that are headed off in this direction. And look at that. They're using little laser guns to gather that rock right there. Nice. I now have the power of rocks. Next up, power and oxygen. Build an oxygen generator and a coal generator to get us going. How are we going to burn coal underwater? This seems dubious. I mean, I'm going to do it. Don't get me wrong. Oh, it's got like a diagonal thing going on. What do the lines mean? Oh, the lines are little tube connectors. So if you line up the lines, I bet they build like a little, they're going to build like a little hamster line that this all connects through. I bet you. Let's try it out. All right, so there is our coal generator. We've got that all nice and knocked out. And then it wants me to build a power line. So I'll go ahead and do that. I don't know how important this is going to be to have that lined up perfectly, but like, hey, I also don't know if that needs to connect right there. Does it actually need to go to like the inside the building? I'm going to make it go to the inside the building, just in case. I'm guessing that like adjacent contact is going to be good enough, but like there's no way to really know. Oh yeah, we've got like a little Constructo bot right there. Let's watch his little animation. Seems to be fairly detailed. He's got like his little crab claws, you know what I mean? Little 50-ton claws of murder. That is, unless those are king crab claws, then it's 100 tons of murder. And then the other thing that we needed was a life support. We needed like an oxygen generator. I suppose. Can I rotate the camera? Is that a thing that happens? It does, but it's on my middle mouse. And you know how like a long time ago I was talking about how my middle mouse button doesn't work very well? Still haven't bought a new mouse. Still haven't bought a new mouse, so it's still not working properly. One would think that given the fact that this impacts my job, I probably would have gone out and bought one right now for the low price of like 25 bucks. But no, absolutely not. I'm cheap. I'm cheap to a fault. And like, I need more stuff than just the middle mouse button to not be working, all right? It needs to be falling apart, shooting sparks, throwing smoke all over the place, you know? And I don't think mice do that when they die, and so I may not get the clear indicator that it's time for the new things to happen. Crew relation effectors. All right, well, we've got our oxygen here. All right, so the oxygen is almost done being produced, and it looks like this over here needs O2. Is there a special type of pipe that I have to run in order to make everything get oxygen? So we've got submarine factories, we've got a light tower, basic research lab, fauna traps, cloning labs. Looks like there's all kinds of fun stuff here. Oh, I can make tunnels too. Yeah, make some tunnels. Did those just build like instantly? Oh, and look at that, it's all working now. Sweet, dude. Okay, so where do I see my power denoted? It looks like we see the power grid through the little overlay. There's kind of like overlay filters over here. So with the power lens, it looks like we have 18 power supply and 4 demand. So we should be good for a little bit. I'll probably just daisy chain these all together, going backwards over here if I have to. I don't know. Haven't made up my mind yet. But either way, we have concluded the thing that I was supposed to be doing. On our resources, it looks like we have steel, we have concrete, we have quartz, and it looks like we have iron, and then there's some other things that are going to be like advanced manufacturing. Okay. Now what's going on here? We need to think about consistent food supplies. A carbohydrate farm will be simple to build and will provide us with a large supply of low-quality food. It may affect crew morale and eventually their health, but it's the best that we can do for now. Okay, so carbohydrate farms. Let's take a look at this tech tree. Can I zoom out on this tech tree? Doesn't look like I can. But then again, it doesn't seem like an enormous tech tree either. So we've already got those. Oh, well, I guess we haven't unlocked the tier. So once you get to the tier, it's going to show us more interesting stuff. All right. Well, what we need then is we are going to need that carbohydrate farm. There's a carbohydrate farm. Let's unlock it. We've also got more research data. I was kind of thinking about getting a protein harvester, but I'll let the game guide me for right now. I'll let it walk me through the initial steps. Now that we have the carbohydrate farm, is that going to be in life support? It is going to be in life support. Okay. I'll probably line up the carbohydrate farm. Oh, I don't know. I feel like maybe we have like a little back area over here. How much power is that going to take? So that requires, let's see. It looks like that cost us like 10 concrete. So hopefully we can get some more concrete back. Oh, I can Q and E to rotate things too. Well, good. That takes, oh, look, there's a little lionfish right there. The John Dory. Oh, he's got like a little mohawk, dude. He's got a little beard. He's got like a little ZZ Top beard, dude. He's going to play Lagrange. Play it. Do it. He's not going to do it. He's not on the clock right now. I sort of get it, dude. It's just professionalism. Like, don't play unless you're getting paid. You know what I mean? What is that thing right there? An oceanic sunfish. I think I swam with one of those in Hawaii. I went to Hawaii to visit family, and I'm pretty sure when I was snorkeling, there was one of those in the water with me. They're big. But anyways, as soon as this carbohydrate farm is done, it is now done, and apparently it is producing low-quality food. Low-quality food is like 90% of everything that I eat, and so honestly, I feel like my villagers are going to be okay. It needs to be hooked into the power grid, so I will do that right now. Line placement seems to be pretty consistent, actually. It doesn't feel too hard to pull off, so there you go. That power line's been run, and this thing should be functioning. Unfortunately, I see a potential issue here. It says that we're producing 10 food per day, but we're consuming 12 per day. Now, that gives us a lot of headroom. Losing 2 food a day isn't too bad. But if there's going to be any catastrophes or anything else that we need to resolve, that may end up being something that negatively impacts us. We've opted to send down 4 more crew members to assist your endeavors. Before we send them down, get your food situation stable. You need 2 living quarters, and a stockpile of 75 food will ensure you can sustain a larger workforce. Dunzos. I feel like I can probably do that. So we'll do another carbohydrate farm, like right there, and we'll just single space that one. And then from there, I do want to get some more tunnels. The building feels fine to me. Haven't noticed anything with the building just yet that I find to be irritating. It seems to work pretty much the way that you expect it to work. And then we also need 2 of the living quarters. So we're probably going to need food stockpiles. What is this over here? That's just building materials. Okay, so let's think about where we want to start making large piles of crap that we can just kind of hold on to till later. So we've got iron over there. We've got, what is that thing, dude? A spider crab? Nah, man. That thing's kind of creepy. I don't want to be down here. I don't know if you guys want to go get the concrete and maybe go get the steel first. But I feel like that is, like, objectively the good idea, since that seems to be what we're spending. They've already built up the second food processor over there. That should have us net positive. Yes, we are producing 8 food surplus per day. And then over here with the coal generator, I need to look at the power grid one more time. Actually, those things don't really cost that much. I expected them to cost a lot more on our power grid than they actively did. But I need to get organized. So we need to... I mean, I guess I could just use this as the spot. We've already got that down there, so, like, maybe we do, like, a food stockpile, and maybe we do, like, a fuel stockpile. That's being kind of heavy-handed on my resources, but it's just concrete and steel. So I've specifically assigned them to get the concrete and to get the steel. So hopefully we'll bounce back quickly, I think. What does this say? Overseer, we need to locate larger deposits of resources extraction points. They will show up on sonar scans. Make a sonar tower so that we can test their capabilities. Okay, I have like a number of jobs right now that I am working on, but I will add that to the list of things that need to be concluded. It looks like actually there's going to be a little bit of sort of like a spacing thing going on. So all of the buildings, they seem to actively have connectors that are either on diagonals or they are either on cardinals, which means that really, in order to optimize my space, I have to be careful about where I put things and where they belong. There's our 2 living quarters, though. I don't actually know. I went and clicked those down before I knew if I had enough to build them. It looks like I do have enough to build them. So anyways, we just needed 18 concrete for the 2 of those. I always enjoy little city builders like this, and I'm interested to see what the twist is gonna be. Like, with games like this, there's typically a twist. Like in Surviving Mars, every single time you played the game, there was a randomly decided, out of like 20 different sort of storylines, there were different storylines. Like, one of them was that you found gray goo, and like your colony was just trying to stop the gray goo. Another one of the storylines was that you find an obelisk, and every day when you wake up, the obelisk is like multiplied, and there's like more of them, but they seem to be mundane and not do anything. Like, there was a bunch of interesting things in Surviving Mars like that that made me really happy, so I'm hoping this game ends up having twists as well. That seems to be sort of a hallmark of the series, but who knows? We also need a sonar tower. And it looks like the sonar tower is rocking out over here. I don't know if the sonar tower actively needs to be attached to anything. To me, it doesn't feel like it does. So I'll probably just cram it in right there. I don't know if I'm going to be punished for that, but hey, I want to get some, like, civic density going on. I want it to look like an actual underwater city that we have happening here. I feel like this would be claustrophobic. Also, you wouldn't get enough, like, vitamin, whatever the vitamin is that the sun god puts into our flesh when we walk around with the sun on our cheeks, our bare, exposed cheeks. I don't think we're going to get that down here, unless you put, like, a small amount of it in, like, the lighting systems. There are a number of, like, scientific things you'd have to work around to make this work. Oh, the living quarters are not powered. I was like, why are we not moving forward here? The living quarters do not have the things that they need in order to function. So there you go. We now have the living quarters working. They should be happy. We just got 4 new crew members, and it looks like overall crew relations have gone up. Wow. People more likely to exchange some friction. I like it. Let's see here. We need the fuel extraction point with the sonar. It looks like there is a high chance of fuel over there. So let's go ahead and knock that out. I don't know exactly what I think this is just like a cell tower that expands our ping range, maybe. Yeah, it looks like we found something over there. I don't know how I get over there, but it looks like we found something. Oh, it just pings a couple times and then it dies? It just, like, lives an underwater sacrificial life? Okay, fair enough. Our sonar tower located a nearby resource extraction point. It looks like a coal spot. As it is located in darkness, we need to construct light towers. When the area is lit, we can build a coal extractor on the coal extraction point. My guess is that the twist is that the world is going to end above us and we're going to be like the last people, because it looked like they were going for kind of... With the overall art style of the game, it seemed to me like they were kind of going for like a Cold War thing with the aesthetic of the game. Does that actually need to be attached? I don't know. Drop it like it's hot, I suppose. I'm guessing the light tower is definitely going to have to be hooked up to some kind of power source. At least that would be my initial concern. All right, let's just let it ride. We'll see what happens. And then it also wants me to go get the coal extractor. Okay. I can extract some coal. I've got you covered, Bubba. Coal efficiency upgrade, basic air purifiers. Let's see, garden domes, docks, sonar towers. Okay, so there's some interesting things in here. There's our coal extractor. So I suppose we'll unlock it. And then it wants me to build a coal extractor over here once we eventually get around to building this thing. We've got our full stockpile set up. We're a little bit low on steel, which I find to be very, very concerning. It says this is going to use a whole bunch of power, too. Yeah, so we may end up in a situation where I have to build a few more jennies, too, just to get them rocking. Oh, there it goes. Oh, they weren't kidding. That's definitely a lamp. That's a serious lamp right there. I wonder how the light is going to play in as we get further on into the game. Like, is there going to be something down here that, like, generally is disturbed by the light? Is the light going to keep us protected? I don't know. But either way, there's our first big light post right there. If nothing else, we can have Monday Night Football now. And then we need to build a coal extractor over here in order to guarantee the amount of coal that we're going to need. Coal extractor's right there. It costs 12 concrete. Luckily, we have lots and lots of concrete coming on in. That seems like it is just barely on the edge of where we need it to be. I'll put it down, but with our light placement, it may make this a little bit ugly and spaghettified. Those among you who prefer to have, like, very, very highly tuned bases that are very pretty to look at are going to be upset with me, but I feel like that's a sacrifice that I'm probably willing to make. Oh, it looks like we're also going to have different depth levels too, so there's going to be Z levels involved. And then, oh, we can also do junction tunnels. That's nice. Okay, well, now that I know that I can junction a tunnel, I'm not that worried about it then. Let's go ahead and we'll run some power over to there. Yeah, now our power supply is looking pretty good. It's looking all right. So what are my constructors doing? Are they actually headed that way? They are headed that way. And so what we may want to consider doing while we wait for that construction is we may want to... Oh, we've got like a world map over here too for the bottom of the ocean. Okay. Cool. Anyways, let's go ahead and I wanted to work on some tunnels here. So that tunnel can't quite get there. I can make it turn, I guess, if we're, like, really, really against the idea of diagonals. I feel like that's probably fine, though. Like, I don't know. Let's just give in to the sketty base. There we go. And now the power has all been nice and hooked up. We're just going to lean fully into the sketty base, okay? We're accepting that the sketty base is a thing that's going to happen. There's no way around it. I'm not going to be organized this time around. Never have I ever really been organized. It's like the weirdest thing. Like, back when I used to have an apartment and I used to be like a college guy and everything, I was like fastidious in keeping everything clean. And for whatever reason, I'm just like, whatever now. My house looks thoroughly lived in. All right, so if this mission is to be a success, we will need research points. Gotcha. Will do, champ. Will do. I'll throw together some searching for the Rees. And then we also need to acquire genetic material. Oof, buy me a drink first. All right, so we need to locate a habitat and build a fauna trap on it. Well, there's a spider crab habitat right there. We also need to get the research lab, though, so I'll probably start out with that. So basic research lab, we need 15 steel in order to make that thing happen. We do not have any steel right now, unfortunately. So we're going to be kind of at the mercy and waiting for... Yeah, you maybe focus 2 of these guys on gathering steel instead of, like, one doing everything. I don't think we need the quartz glass just yet, and I don't think we need the iron just yet. And so gathering everything may not be the best way to approach this. We also have Overseer. We have the utmost faith in you to lead this mission, but the project requires great minds. We're going to spend down a specialist engineer to assist with the setup of the facility, but you need 80 coal stored up before we can do that. All right, what is this producing? So we've got 3 guys over here. They are all coal mining. So it looks like we gather 7, and it looks like we consume 6. It's not great. Would definitely prefer we be gathering faster. Does it cost me anything to send out a sonar ping? Because if we're ever going to get this mission done to stockpile 80 coal, we're going to need a lot more coal coming on in. We're going to need at least another building. So maybe we'll go for like a fuel beacon. Says there's a low chance of fuel over here. Oh, there's another coal extraction node down there. I'm going to have to do like a crazy cable run to get after it, but might be okay. I feel like building a light tower out this way is probably a good idea. So I'll start with that as well. We've pinpointed the location of a nearby habitat. We must make preparations for the cloning process. All right. I'll work on it in a minute. You gotta give me a second, though. We got kind of like one mining sub is idle. Why is my mining subarino idle? Oh, because I forgot to put him on another thing. Yeah, he's just like sitting around taking the lunch break of a lifetime while getting paid for it. All right. Well, we're still going to have to clean up some of this debris as time goes along, but it looks like we've still got a little bit of steel left. Like 9. It's not very much. And it looks like our beacon ran out of resources, at least the steel resources, the ones that we need. And so I need to kind of move we'll do another mining buoy like right there. It seems like they build basically instantly. And then we'll put 2 people on gathering Steel? Is that inside the area? Oh, it scrolls. Gotcha. Okay, so we'll put 2 people on steel, and we'll put 1 person on concrete, since that seems like what we're mostly going through here. There's something right there, too, but I don't know what it is. Huh. I'll have to figure that out as time goes along. Either way, I would like for that lamp to be working. Not a whole lot down here. Then again, it is kind of the bottom of the ocean. Oh, if there's like a freehand coal deposit, we may be able to just grab that. That's got 77 coal on it. We're at a +1 surplus. So we may not need to, because we only have 1 worker left. And so 1 worker is not going to be able to work a coal extraction point by himself. So it kind of feels like to me we're going to be waiting on immigration. Is there any indicator of when we are going to get immigration? Like, does it tell us that? I don't think we do. I think it's just when we hit certain hallmarks or we complete certain tasks. As far as the research lab goes, we can afford it. It's going to be a little pricey, but we can afford it. I'll probably just put it like right there. And then we'll make a pipe junction. Oh, really? It doesn't like that. Okay. Well then, I destroy you. I'll make a junction right there. So apparently you can't just add a junction after the fact to that spot. You should be able to add a junction after the fact to that spot. That would, in fact, be the way that I want it to work. But you can't, so whatever. And we'll throw that over there, and now that we've got our junction on this side, it hasn't really been built yet. But I do want to future-proof and just kind of get everything into place. Sound effects are nice with all the ratchet sounds and whatnot. There's like, bzz, when you're like putting stuff down. Everything sounds perfectly acceptable. I get the feeling this is going to be one of those games, though, that unfortunately this video is just not going to be enough to get to the bottom of some of the later mechanics and whether or not they're balanced or functioning, or anything else like that. Yeah, we ran out of high-quality food, so apparently everybody's cranky-wankies with me right now. So we've gathered up what remains of the steel over here. We've only got like 11 left that we need to drag on into our base, but it seems to me like I haven't seen any other resource deposits around here, and that kind of concerns me. So let's go ahead and we're going to like resource beacon around and just kind of like see what we find around here. Yeah, we'll throw that up there real fast. We'll put that beacon up there and let it ping, and we'll kind of see what it finds. So there's a concrete deposit over there. Concrete deposit over there. That's not costing me anything, is it? Like every time I deploy one of these? There's a medium chance over there. I'm going to go ahead and do it anyways. There is the coal deposit over there, so I'm thinking about sending them over to go gather it. And it looks like they found a quartz deposit, a scrap steel deposit, but I can't send anybody out unless we've got light on the area. So it may get a little bit untenable to kind of go after some of these things. Do we have any further resources that are undiscovered out along the periphery of our existence? I do like the little sonar pings. I've always found like that little dong, 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 dong noise to be like satisfying. But you find, so coal deposit, concrete extraction point. That's not bad. Okay. That's definitely manageable, in my opinion. That's all right. We could probably take some workers off of this carbohydrate farm. So I'm going to take them out of the carbohydrate farm real fast just to get a couple of workers back. Yeah, like I'm fine with not having people that can work right now because we've got such a massive surplus of food that I don't really care. Like we've got pretty good, like the entire time we've been playing, that's basically how long we can last without producing food right now. So it's not that big of a deal. Now the other thing is we can get a submarine factory to get some more subs. That'd be kind of cool. I guess I should probably stick to the things that it wants me to do, though. So we can get a fauna trap. I'm going to drop that in over there. What did the fauna trap just cost me? 10 steel? It's expensive. Can't afford that. You'd think the government, if this was such an important project, you'd think they'd just be, like, dumping stuff into the ocean. And then I could just, like, go pick it up. A brine pool. Do I have an exploration sub? I was going to say, I'm going to need the sub bay before I can do that. A dense body of water with high salt content. The rim is covered with a layer of mussels and small fish. Okay. I'm going to have to connect this guy, too. So I think this pipe, unfortunately, is going to have to die once more. This poor pipe, dude. I keep murdering it. I keep murdering it unnecessarily. And luckily, that poor little pipe right there is free and doesn't cost anything. And so, like, it's not that big of a deal. But if I had showed any amount of forethought, I would have already designed this junction. There we go. We'll put that right there. Don't need a junction. I need another tunnel. Oh, does the tunnel not need to attach over here? Oh. It doesn't look like it has an attachment point. All right, fair enough. I should actually probably be cramming things in tighter. I mean, these have to be on specific nodes. But all this power cable running is costing me a fortune in steel. Like, I am actively going broke right now trying to supply it all. All right, so destroy that, and then the next thing I need you guys to do is just come over here, and everybody just full bore, dude. Like, you know, underwater eggies to the glass. Just get this thing done. All right, so we've got our crab trap over here. I used to go crabbing when I was a kid. That's like every single year. My family and I would go out to a place called Dillon Bay, and we'd go... Dillon Beach, that's what it was. We would go to Dillon Beach, and we would go crabbing. We put out crab nests. We also went mud bugging all the time. We got crawdads and boil those up with some cayenne pepper and all that kind of fun stuff. Let's see here. One of our coal extractor teams found a vein unlike anything we've seen before. It's much harder than the rest of the coal surrounding it. Extracting from this vein could result in a considerably higher yield than usual, but would require one of the crew to descend through the borehole to assess it properly. Should we risk crew? I'll allow it. The assessment was a success, but somebody died. The vein is deep and less stable than anticipated. The crewmen got trapped while exploring the deposit. They're out now, but will need to spend some time in a hospital to recover. Okay, I don't have a hospital, but that's chill. That's chill. I feel like largely that worked out for me, and I'm not that upset about it. Oh, I have enough coal. Nice. It just, like, dumped me with, like, 70 coal right there. Sweet, dude. All right. We got coal for days. Got coal for days. I need to find some more scrap steel. I think the next scrap steel was, like, really far out, though. Yeah, it's pretty far. It's pretty aggressively far out there. We may be better off trying to figure out what we can do with other stuff. So we've got Maha Squanado, and they will be captured in 3 minutes. All right, I'm just going to let it run until we get our specimens. I have tons of scientific data available as well, so I should probably spend that on something. It looks like our generators can use less coal. That sounds like an okay acquisition. We've got a biomass generator. Not really too worried about that right now. I've got a protein harvester. I've got a hospital. We can increase the output of our oxygen generators by 20%. We're kind of close to the threshold, so I'll probably run that. And then what does the air purifier do? This improves air quality in the oxygen network. Oh, yeah, I think ours is at like 80% or something like that. I was kind of wondering when that was going to come into play. Let's go ahead and we'll get the protein harvester, and we'll get the hospital real fast. Because we're producing research right now. It's fine. And then we're just waiting on the specimens to come in, I should think. Well, the good news is we've got crabs on the bottom of the sea. Oh, yeah, 30 seconds till our final one comes on in. And that more than likely means that they probably want me to get the cloning lab up and running. Let me check everything real quick. Power demand looks okay. The oxygen lines are looking okay. So I think we're probably clear to go ahead and put in the cloning lab. Depends where we want to put it. I'll probably just daisy chain it over here just to save on steel, I guess. Like, I'm trying to daisy chain everything that I can, even though daisy chains typically lead to, like, catastrophic failures when something goes wrong, just because we're so low on resources right now that it's difficult to tell where I'm going to be getting steel from and whatnot. So that's a coal deposit over there. Maybe I should keep pinging. We did find another scrap steel deposit out that way. And we've got another one out this way, too. We definitely need to go for some more steel. I don't think there's any way to, like, stop that from being a priority. However, I'm pretty sure that I can't put mining relays. Oh, I can put mining relays out in the dark. Well, never mind. Never mind, then. Apparently, I was worried about something that's not even a concern. Fair enough. I guess we can't build outside of the light, but we can definitely send our little resource harvesters to go outside the light. So there you go. Go outside the light, little buddies. Go make it happen. Hey, the cloning lab is done. We got all of our specimens. We've got nobody working at the cloning lab, unfortunately. We're going to need someone to work at the cloning lab. So let's pop a person on in over there. So apparently we are sequencing genomes right now. We've got spider crabs. Wait, am I making, like, new people? It looks like I'm manufacturing a new human being right now out of crab claws and sea moss. I don't know how I feel about that. All prior experiments in cloning led to test subjects that suffered from poor health, malnutrition, and could only undertake the simplest of tasks. Your work down here will fix this. It must fix this. The time has come. Open the cloning interface, add the desired genomes to the Oh, I already did that totally on my own. I started looking at menus and stuff, and I was like, well, so apparently based on what we capture, you get higher or like lower quality human beings, basically, that you're cloning. So we've got like a generalist over here, but obviously we're going to want to find better quality stuff in order to make this whole thing work. As of right now, we're kind of getting towards the end of the video. At the moment, I don't really have too many thoughts about the game. It seems like a fairly competent city builder, but I'm well aware of the fact that we've only been playing for like 35, 40 minutes. And so oftentimes what happens with a lot of these titles is that like the beginning opening hour is really, really solid. And, you know, it really, really pops. And then once you get past that, there's like significant, like, you know, economic issues, or there are significant twists in the storyline that make things not work so great. And so anyways, I got burned by Ixion in that way, where like I was really stoked about it because the opening 2 or 3 hours were super rad, and then after that the whole game kind of fell apart and became like a grindy mess. And ever since then I've been a little bit gun shy. Still, hopefully maybe you saw something that you liked here. The link is down below. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block we were doing Surviving the Abyss. Tomorrow we'll be doing something else. There's pretty solid chance I'll probably stream this game so that you can get 3 or 4 hours into it on the day that this video goes live. That way I can give you a much better look with my live thoughts once we get further on in. But up until then, hopefully this video worked as a reasonable little teaser. I don't really see anything that's driving me crazy so far. The performance is silky smooth. The only thing that I really noticed is I'd like to be able to just plant a junction in the middle of a pre-existing pipe and it auto-deletes and then adds the junction on in. Having to like delete it, add the junction, run the pipe again is like a bunch of extra clicks that don't necessarily need to be there. I'd also like the ability to move these resource beacons. I didn't see a move option. I looked around for it, but I would really like to be able to click a button and then just take this and drag and drop it somewhere else, basically, once they've tapped out the area that they've been mining at. And so those are really the only 2 observations I have for right now. Nothing else has super jumped out at me. But yeah, Surviving the Abyss. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what is worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. I actually kind of want to see what happens when this clone pops out. Like, is it just going to be a big spaghetti mass of gore that's like, kill me? Or is it actually going to be something that's useful to us? If that produces 1 human being after that much time, I'm going to be a little bit tilty-boyed. Cloning failed. I am a failure. Rip. Okay. Oh no, we don't have enough crabs. Okay, well I need to have more crabs. before I can effectively clone a human being. That's what I'm learning here, is that I need to get a much, much more serious gathering of crabs. I'll see y'all tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet. Thank you for spending your time with me. That's about all I've got for right now. Take care, everybody.